Son, what have you done? Welcome back to another episode of Fake It Till You Make It. Last time I worked on this thing, I got the engine out, a couple things labeled. Other than that, I kind of left it that state. So today, I would like to get all of this stuff kind of cleaned up, get rid of some of the unnecessary stuff like the washer tank and a few other little things. Just basically get it ready for a good cleaning and possibly painting before I do the 2RZ swap. Some of the wiring and stuff might have to go with that motor before I put it in the Tierra. So I'm going to get some of that cleaned up. And then the plan is to drop the transmission and the rear drive shaft today. And then I'll get this thing pretty much ready to just roll outside. And it's going to sit there for a couple months until all of that is in the Tierra. So I do want to thank all 27 of you for subscribing to the channel. It's not much, but it's honest work. I'm just an average dude with 3 kids, working 2 jobs, 60 hours a week, that wants to flex that creative muscle and make a few videos now and again. So I'm always trying to do something fun, and I got way too many hobbies, so I might as well film some of it. Hopefully these videos get a little better. I think the next few will probably be a little longer. I hope that's all right. I try not to bore you guys with talking too much or showing every single hose clamp getting undone or whatever, but videos should be getting pretty spicy here soon because winter's going to be coming and it's going to be a mad dash to get some stuff done. Now, I don't know if you guys caught the name of the channel or not, but we are working on a dirt floor. It's not until recently that I got these conveyor belts from the local mine. I think they're 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch thick. And I just laid the strips down on each side or all the way across the garage. That's worked out really good. It's still kind of a struggle to get things moved across when they're, when an engine's on the picker or whatever. But just like the channel, the garage is a work in progress. So thanks for following along. Let's get to work on this Toyota. The only real thing I plan on painting under the hood is this flat surface right here that goes across, because it's super flat back in there, and I think a lot of moisture got trapped, and there's some rust pockets in there. Other than that, I think all this can kind of stay. Might just touch some of that up or whatever, figure out something to do with it. But I like the originalness of this truck, so I'm gonna try to keep it that. Start working on this left side. Some of this stuff kind of just buttoned up out of the way for now. This never worked for obvious reasons, but I do plan to keep it and try to rehab it some. I don't think I'm going to need to label some of this stuff because it's all pretty basic. So I think I'll just zip tie it up out of the way for now. I'm guessing I'm going to need to tear that out for the Tierra. The one in the Tierra, the pedal doesn't do anything. It's just floating in there. So I'm guessing the cable's broken. When I got this truck, I had this cable under the hood, and I thought, didn't really look to where it was routed. And thanks, buddy Dustin, for using a red cable as a ground. So I hooked the battery up backwards right away. Luckily, that didn't bite me in the butt. This choke cable, we're not going to need that for the old 2RZ. I think I'm just going to halfway feed that back in so it's out of the way. We'll get that removed when we start doing interior work. Get some of this business up and out of the way. If you don't have a line lock on everything you own, you probably should. It's about the most fun you can have. And I did notice that at one point my hood striker thingy fell apart one day. There's a piece of it. I think that goes on a little rod and makes it so your hood clicks up out of the way. Yeah, it's not looking terrible in there. I definitely see a rust hole, but once I get to work on this thing for real, I'll try to clean some of that out, maybe just POR it. And if you're anything like me, you're going to want to take your zip tie and make sure it's as pointy as possible so that you can have bloody knuckles later. Should probably figure out what to do with this before I start pulling the tranny. I get this slave cylinder out of the way. Still connected to the tranny for the most part, so. Let him dirty dangle up there, or he'll be out of the way. Probably run a zip tie to that too. Throw the spring in a bucket. Again, cut that nice and sharp. And I'm already sick of walking around this motor, so I'm going to try to get it out of the way. You guys can see my struggle when it comes to owning a garage with a dirt floor. Alright, we have liftoff. Oh yeah. Of course, the tire has to get stuck in the crack right away. Now I'll try to linebacker this thing over to the wall. Yep, figured. Get her tucked in here nice next to the 1UZ. Heavy breathing commenced. That's probably good enough. If you guys hang out long enough, you're going to see a lot of struggle. I'm a big fan of doing everything twice and doing it the hard way. I think we're in a good enough spot now. I can plan on getting the rear drive shaft and the transmission out. Last time I was under it, I don't remember taking note if the cross member drops out of this thing, a lot of the two-wheel drive Toyotas, I guess they're a solid cross member, which can be a real pain in the butt to get the tranny out. So we'll have a gander here and see what's going on. Grab my favorite tool in the garage. Little yoga mat scored from the rec center. Got a few of them. So every time I work on something, I smell like a sweaty old lady. It's kind of great. All right. What do we got? Looks like, yeah, I should be able to unbolt that. Drop it out. Drop the whole tranny. Drive shaft. Only have to undo one side for the bolts. And that'll just slip right out of the tranny and make a mess all over the floor. We should be in good shape. So, shifter stuff, I got to deal with that too. I think the shifters are kind of like off to the side in these. They don't like go straight through the floor to the top of the tranny. So we'll deal with that business too. All right, let's see if we can get this drive shaft off without backing this truck up. Because she is tight. Someday we're going to have a lift. I won't have to be monkeying around on the floor anymore. Ouch. Who knows the last time this drive shaft was taken out? If I had to guess, every bit of 30, 40 years. Oh, that bolt's loose. You don't need to worry about your drive shaft falling off mid-burnout. Don't mind the 6 inches of block you're seeing on top of the leaf spring. Someday, we will get under here and do something about that. Oh, you don't have to pry it. She's so eager to get worked on that things are just coming apart way too easy. I think, in the sake of not losing stuff, I'm just going to put these bolts back in this diff. Hopefully they don't rattle out when I do tow this thing around. Well, let's see if she's going to be polite and not leak all over my floor. My beautiful dirt floor. Nope. And of course, I'm not smart enough to get a drain pan to put there before I do this. So now we run and grab a drain pan. It's going to smear oil all over the floor, even worse than it already is. Like I said, I do things the hard way, always. That's fine. Finish getting this drive shaft out of here. Alright, we'll have a gander here, see what's going on with this transmission shifter. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that's going to need to come off. I don't want to mess it up anyway. That's original. By the way, check out those floor mats. They came out of a 77 Toyota pickup that at one point I did some stuff with and ended up selling. Try not to rip that. Alright. Now that that's out of the way. So I wonder if these need to come out or not. We'll start here and work our way in. Throw that in there so I can forget that it's even there. Alright, yeah, those bolts are definitely going to have to come out. Alright, we got all the stuff and the things out of the way. Pretty sure I got to take these bolts out here, and then there's like this little cable run through this other bolt, pulls all this business apart. You know, and it's kind of a goofy deal how it shifts. I figure all that gear banging while doing burnouts has really made that transmission mount not happy. So we'll go ahead and pull that out, and we should be able to start working on dropping the tranny. Alright, fun fact. Got those bolts out. That bushing is so hashed out in there that she just popped right out. I mean, it's literally lubricated by dust. So, nice. Alright, let's drop a transmission. Alright, I'm going to get all this e-brake stuff off of here before I can drop this cross member. Another fun fact, when I got this truck, the e-brake actually worked. And then one day I was driving up Deadwood Main Street and thought it'd be cool to park on Main Street, which allows zero parking. You're not allowed to park on Main Street. And I got the great idea to park on Main Street and go in and grab some cigars. So me and a buddy were out cruising. Well, the rear drums decided to lock up. And I knew better than to use an e-brake on a Toyota because I've never had good luck with them. So there she sat on Deadwood Main Street for almost an hour and a half, and having my own little car show, I guess. Kind of what people thought, I think. And I ended up having to call a buddy so we could tear the rear drum off, or tear the rear tire off and get to the drum. I was going to pull the axle shaft and just take the whole axle shaft to work and get it unstuck, bring it back and put it in. Well, parking enforcement pulls up. They didn't like that plan, so we ended up putting her on the tow truck. And towed it literally a mile to work on it. So, never used the e-brake again after that day. Alright, transmission's almost ready to party with the ground. Now, I'm sure somebody's wondering why I didn't strap the transmission to the jack. Well, I ain't got time for that. I spent enough time filming this stuff today that I'm just going to send it. So, she's definitely hanging from the e-brake cable that's still attached to the cross member, which I thought I had gotten, but I gotta get under there and pry it off the other side. Alright, after liberating the emergency brake cable the good old-fashioned way, we got a transmission on the ground. Although the speedometer cable needs to come out now too. So. But that has plenty of slack in it. Didn't ruin that. think I'm just going to scoot it forward and then work on that cable. Now, I took the bolt out, but this thing is crusty. Grab a whooping stick. See if we can't coax it out of there. She's not happy. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but dealing with a little bit of a icky throat the last couple days. I don't really want to damage that. I'm going to grab another vice grip, sandwich it, see if I can't get it to pop loose. The speedometer cable has not been wanting to play nice. I took out the little keeper, see if I could pry it out of there, but she's not wanting to go, so I'm going to just undo it. The way you're half-assed supposed to try to do it. Oh, nope. Really don't want to break it. Ooh. There she goes. Give that a little working back and forth. She'll pop out nice. Oh, we're losing parts. Little washer deal. Shake hands with danger. Got a little better pry bar now. There she goes. Actually, pretty good shape. I'm going to put this back together because I do want to keep this stuff in good condition. In the off chance that it does work with the other transmission. Get some of this stuff picked up, get this transmission wiggled out of here. No, okay. What a cutie. He's just a little guy. I mean, smaller than a Pt.2. So, now that I've got it out, I think I'll go ahead and get my mess cleaned up here and get this thing off of the jack stands. And then I got a buddy coming over to help me tow it up the hill, put it in storage for the winter. It's pretty much ready. I did leave the exhaust, which I might end up needing for the Tierra. I'm pretty sure the exhaust in the Tierra runs down the other side, but yeah, maybe I'll pull that out real quick. Might need it. Jeez. Exhaust acquired. Come on, little buddy. Jeez. Why am I even dragging it? It's got to be one of the only vehicles. Ooh, don't break that. One of the only vehicles I've ever had that I didn't need help putting the hood on or taking it off. When your hood's only 2 foot by 3 foot, it's actually pretty easy. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and lower it back on the ground and start working on the interior stuff. Not really a whole lot to do. I'd like to get that dash out because I know a lot of the 2RZ wiring and stuff is going to need to be pinned up underneath there. And I also found a company that redoes old school dashes. They wanted dimensions off of this one in a picture, but I'll do them one better and just send the whole dash in. Have them redo it. Hopefully they don't bone me on that and make my dash disappear, but yeah, I'll throw up the company on the video here. I can't remember what it is offhand, but so yeah, get a new dash at some point before the end of the swap and then get some stuff stripped out of here. So get to working on that. Alright, let's see if this dash even comes out in one piece. This whole thing is drier than a popcorn fart. And I really don't want to break anything involved with this, so I don't even know where to start, honestly. But I imagine for the swap, 90% of everything's going to need to come out. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the glove box. We'll start with that. That'll be a good time for a bit driver. So, once upon a time, when this thing didn't have a stereo, me and my buddy Kip, we tried to get the one working in it that was original. To no avail. We did not get that going. So, one too many beers later, we ended up pillaging a Bluetooth speaker that I bought at the dollar store. And it worked great for quite some time. And here you will see the aftermath of that. Oh, come on, girl. Don't want to break it because I worked hard on it. Oh. All right, I'll have to reach up in there. Okay, so I took the guts out of a $20 Bluetooth speaker. That's all it really consisted of. You have your left and your right speaker outputs, and then the battery plugs into right there. So I just stuck the battery. Looks like the glue fell off, but just stuck the battery in there, plugged it in, took the control panel off of the Bluetooth deal, stuck it on the inside of the glove box, and then ran a new 4-inch speaker to the underside of the dash. and I just always kept it plugged in. Just kind of ran that business up under there and always kept it plugged in and charging. But yeah, that's the guts out of a Bluetooth unit from the dollar store, so I could have music. It's kind of cool. So another fun fact, we don't listen to anything but 70s and 80s music when I'm driving this thing. Just because the pure fact that, one, everything else kind of sounds like crap through that little 4-inch speaker. And two, it's just not the right vibe when you're driving this thing to be listening to rap or whatever else. So we always listen to the 70s and 80s classics. At this point, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of taking stuff apart here, taking as much stuff apart as I can inside here so that I don't break anything, or, you know, because everything in here is irreplaceable. It's all in pretty good shape, so I want to keep it in good shape and just take my time, get this dash pulled out as cleanly as possible. All while trying not to lose any hardware. Another thing that I don't want to do. We got a few more things loosened in here. The steering column is supported up here on the dash too, so I gotta loosen that. I've been just loosening stuff here and there, trying to see where it's gonna give, because I don't want to tear it up. So that's just dirty dangling. This all leaves me very leery because I really don't want anything to break. I'm sure there's some sweet little tool I'm supposed to have to loosen this without gnarring it up, but glove over vice grips is gonna have to do. Oh, I just hate pulling on this stuff. Ugh. It's all so brittle. I think I've got mostly everything on this side ready to come out. It's all of the business underneath there that I'm still messing with. So I think I'll go ahead and jump into a little time lapse, since I can't really film any of that. But yeah, I got lots of wires and stuff to disconnect and pull out of the dash. And if you see me start throwing tools, or if I disappear from the camera for a while, it's probably because I broke something that was important and irreplaceable. But one thing I noticed is kind of cool. There's this little indentation here in the dash. Well, it's got the same one over there, and I'm guessing it's for those, so you could make this right-hand drive. Just one of the little pieces that they made universal for the right-hand drive guys. As you can see, that's already broke. Wasn't really holding much in anyway, but gotta be very careful. Now then, I think I got everything loose. I would imagine the speedometer cable is still under there wanting to party, but just try to tenderly get this thing to rock out of here. Alright, something's still tight on this side. This little guy is, but it's got to get disconnected. Just not having it. Just not having it. Okay. Please don't break nothing. I think I can reach that speedo cable. Loosen that up. Okay, that's free. Got some more stuff that is tight. I think this here switch for the lights needs to be unplugged, which I cannot really reach. It's never a good sound. Don't like it one bit. Okay. Voila. Maybe. Oh, my line lock. Good, I did so good. I'm gonna install on. Maybe. Oh, see one more thing. Okay, this bad boy should be free. Oh, gauge lights. All right, now we're good. I promise. Well, that's that. Okay, I think that's where I'll leave it for now. Buddy Kip will be here in a little while to help me tow this into its resting place for a month or two. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that steering back up there and should be able to roll it around, do what I need to do with it. Kind of sad to see it in this state, but I don't know, I think it'll be worth it. Have some modern power in this bad boy. I think I'll call that a wrap for this production. Made quite a bit of ground today. I think next time you guys see this truck, we'll be doing some prep under the hood for the 2RZ. Maybe tucking some wires in under the dash. Next video will be us tearing apart the Tiara, getting the transmission and motor out of that, in the hopes that this 8RC and 5-speed or 4-speed will go into that fairly simply, but I guess we'll find out. So if you guys are liking the content, be sure to subscribe. We got a long ways to go on all these projects, and I'm still just trying to figure a few things out here and there. So if you guys got any comments or anything, or pointers, tips, and tricks, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys.